I'm sitting here with Sat, who I met yesterday, and I'm really impressed by your missions. And you've been nearly all over the world,
Yes,
climbing all mountains,
yeah, yeah.
Mount Everest 3 times,
Yes,
and the
yes.
7 summits,
And the Sun Summers, and gone to both the poles, North and South Pole.
both South Pole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you know, I'm pretty interested in what kind of mental challenges is connected to do that kind of missions. Can you tell a bit about what's the hardest mental challenge you meet when you're or have met when you've been up there?
The hardest mental challenge actually happens with me when I come back to this place. So a plane land and back to the big city. That's a big challenge for me. But that's jokes apart. What really like what I say is that like people say that how can you do these kind of very extreme things where the chances of survival is, let's say, less than 20%. So what goes on your mind?
Less than 20%.
Less than 20%. So it's a miracle itself that I'm still alive after so many years, whereas many of my friends are not alive anymore. But the question here is that the limitations that we think about ourselves, be it physically or whatever, it's all lies in the mind. It's a limitation. It's a barrier that we have created. Okay, God has not defined any limit to our minds or to our body, that what to the extent that we can sort of push ourselves into or something like that. And people often talk to me about something called stretching the limit. And I don't say no, it is not stretching the limit, it is staying within your limit but redefining your limits. That's it. That's what you got to understand, that you're not stretching your limits, you're definitely not breaking it. I have not broken my limits ever, I've always stayed within my limit. And I think that's the reason why I'm still alive. But this is a mental game. This is an absolutely 100% mental game. It has got nothing to do with your body at all. Because I have seen people doing fantastic things, like I have devised a way of teaching completely blind people how to climb. It's all mental. They're not seeing anything. I have taught people without double amputees how to climb and how to do really serious stuff. Okay, where they just have to understand that mind doesn't have any limit. You can redefine your limits, and you have to stay within limits because you have to be safe in whatever you're doing. Now the it's not really that you have to train your mind in any special way. It's just your attitude, your thought process has to change. That uh, rather than saying that I can't do it, if you just say that let me try it, because outcome is a material, like it's actually, being a Hindu and being an Indian, it's very basic and fundamental in our psyche, at least in my psyche, that we have this book called the Gita, which is a kind of a gist of summary of Hindu philosophy, which says that you must act always. Action is important for a man. You have to act. Okay, just by thinking nothing is going to happen, but you have to translate your thought into act. But how should you act? You should act to the best of your possibilities, to the best of your resources that you got, but you should not be attached with the outcome of your action. If you can achieve that, if you can do that, then you'll be happy with your failures as much as you'll be happy with your success. So it doesn't really matter what's happened. Rather than saying that I can't do it, if your mind tells you, let me give it a shot, let me try, and then you'll automatically find that your mind doesn't have any limit, and body is bound to follow your mind, because wherever your head goes, the rest of the part of your body has to go. So it's as simple as that.